Present arms.
Please join Morton Boy Scout Troop 67 as they lead us to salute our nation's flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now, if you please remain standing, Kevin Washington will sing our national anthem. Junior Morris Knowles High School.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Now we'll have an invocation by Joe Craig, chaplain, Post 91 Warden.
Thank you. Almighty God, bless those who hold office in the government of the state of New Jersey, that they may do their work in a spirit of wisdom, kindness, and justice. Help them use their authority to serve faithfully and to promote thy general welfare in thy name. Amen.
Amen. Right shoulder, arms. Post colors. About face. Present arms. Right shoulder, arms. Right face. Forward, march.
Please be seated. Adequate notice of this meeting held the 6th day of January 2012 has been provided through resolutions adopted by the board on December 14, 2011, and through the posting of said resolution in the Administration Records Building and in the courthouse, and by mailing the resolution to all newspapers circulating in the county, and by filing a copy of the same to the Morris County Clerk and the Clerk of this board. I have received from the Morris County Board of County Canvassers certificates showing the determination of the election of Margaret Nordstrom as freeholder for a term of 3 years, and I have placed the said certificates on file. At this time, I ask Margaret Nordstrom to come forward to take the oath of office for freeholder. Officiating is the Honorable Daniel W. O'Mullen, Morris County Council. Holding the Bible is her husband, Bill.
Margaret Nordstrom,
I, Margaret Nordstrom,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States and in this state
and to the governments established in the United States and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties of the office of Freeholder of the Morris County Board of Chosen Freeholders,
perform all the duties of the office of Freeholder of the Morris County Board of Chosen Freeholders,
according to the best of my abilities,
according to the best of my abilities,
so help me God.
so help me God. Thank you.
All these men.
Yes. Say that for a motion.
Hey, don't give it to directors, I'll let you say.
At this time, I will call the roll for attendance. Freeholder Cabana.
Here.
Freeholder Chegwin.
Here.
Freeholder File.
Here.
Freeholder Rossi. Here. Freeholder Mastrangelo.
Here.
Freeholder Murphy.
Here.
Freeholder Nordstrom. Here. A quorum is established. Nominations for Director 2012 are in order.
I nominate William Chigwidden as Director for 2012.
Second the nomination.
Freeholder Cabana.
Yes.
Freeholder File.
Yes.
Freeholder Chegwin.
Yes.
Freeholder Grassi. Yes. Freeholder Mastrangelo.
Yes.
Freeholder Murphy.
Yes.
Freeholder Nordstrom. Yes. William J. Chegwin is duly elected. At this time, come forward to take the oath of office for Freeholder Director. Officiating will be the Honorable William Cogger, Township Mayor of the Township of Chester. And holding the Bible will be his wife, Shelley.
I'd much rather give that. Ready?
I, William Chedwin,
I, William Chegwin,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the government established in the United States
and to the government established in the United States,
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of the office of the Director of the Morris County Freeholder Board,
all the duties of the Director of the Morris County Freeholder Board. And you begin.
according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
According to the best of my ability, so help me God.
I believe that.
Kisses? No kisses, please. At this time, we'll take nominations for Deputy Director.
I'm glad to move the appointment of Doug Cabana to be Deputy Director for 2012.
I second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Freeholder Murphy.
Yes.
Freeholder Mastrangelo.
Yes.
Freeholder Cabana.
Yes.
Freeholder File.
Yes.
Freeholder Grassi. Yes. Freeholder Nordstrom.
Yes.
Director Chickwen.
Yes.
At this time, I ask Douglas R. Cabana to come forward to take the oath of office for Deputy Freeholder Director. Officiating will be the Honorable Assemblyman Anthony Bucco, the 25th Legislative District. Holding the Bible is his sister Amy.
Do you, Douglas Cabana, solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state, under the authority of the people, so help you God?
I will.
Do you further solemnly swear that you will impartially and justly perform all of the duties of the office of Deputy Director of the Morris County Board of Chosen Freeholders to the best of your ability, so help you God?
I will.
Congratulations.
At this time, I'd like to acknowledge some of our guests and elected officials who are here tonight. We have Congressman Rodney Freeholdenheisen. Congressman Leonard Lance. Anthony R. Bucco, Senator of the 25th District. Anthony M. Bucco, Assemblyman, 25th District. Michael Carroll, 25th District. Joe Pernacchio, Senator, 26th District. Did Alex come in?
He's got a representative,
John Cesario, representing Alex DeCroce, and also Jay Weber. Steve Oroho, the 24th District. We also want to mention tonight, too, that Joan Braunwell wanted to be here, but of course, because of illness, she couldn't make it here tonight. Morris County Surrogate, Joe Pecoraro. Morris County Sheriff, Ed Rockford. County College of Morris President, Ed Yaw. Morris County School of Technology Superintendent, Principal, Scott Moffitt. Former Assemblyman, Dick Gaiman. Former Assemblyman Guy Gray. Former number 7, Frank Preston. Say former, he's still number 7. Former freeholder John Inglesino. Former freeholder Pete O'Hagan. Former freeholder and current Morris County Committee Chair John Setti. And also, I'd like to mention the mayor of Mount Arlington, but I mentioned him because he is also the state president for the League of Municipalities this year. Everybody got their League of Municipalities and saw his picture all over it. Art Ondish. And I thank all the mayors for showing up tonight and council people. Thank you for coming tonight. Well, good evening. welcome to the 2012 Stated Annual Meeting of the Morris County Board of Chosen Freeholders. Other officials who are up here tonight at the dais are to my right, Diane Ketchum, Clerk of the Board. To her right, County Administrator John Benani. To my left, Dan O'Mullen, County Counsel. Behind me, Mary Jo Buchanan, Assistant County Administrator. And Randall Bush, Assistant County Counsel. I'd also like to thank the Wharton American Legion Post 91, presenting the nation's colors this evening. Our bagpiper, Sergeant Robert McDermott of the Morris County Prosecutor's Office. And also a special thanks to the Boy Scouts, Troop 67. Those Boy Scouts, I see them out quite a bit in town, and they're always out cleaning up garbage and doing special projects around town. So I thank them for giving us the Pledge of Allegiance tonight. I would also like to thank Kevin Washington, who's sitting here in the front. He was a sophomore. You're a junior now or a senior?
Yeah, no, I'm a junior.
Junior. I lose track sometimes. For singing the national anthem. I never knew that you had such a talent. When you're teaching history in the history class, you really don't realize these hidden talents these kids have. He's in all kinds of plays and everything else, and I want to thank you for doing our national anthem tonight. And of course, in history class, I always, because his last name is Washington, I always used to give it to him all the time. Joe Krieg, I want to thank Joe, who's a dear friend of mine, for giving us our blessing tonight on this ceremony. Thank you, Joe. Also, I'd like to thank the staff of the clerk's board, and that's Susan Allard and Janet Donaldson for their help in making this evening a success. A lot of people to thank here. Chris Walker and the Building and Grounds crew for maintaining this beautiful facility. As you can see, they do a great job here and assisting us after the meeting. Scott Moffitt, of course, for the vocational school. Fred Flick, the school supervisor of vocational careers. Culinary art teachers, Mary Rooney and Gina McNeil, and the students who are out there that prepared this meal for us this evening. Let's give them a round of applause. And I'd like to thank Mark Nordstrom, who, now it's what, our fifth term as freeholder. And of course, Doug Cabana also as my wingman as deputy director. I also want to thank my family. My wife is here tonight. I want to thank her for allowing me to do everything I do. My daughters actually couldn't make it tonight because she's coaching the basketball team. My son is playing. He's on the court tonight, my 11-year-old, and my other daughter is actually flying back. She was in the WWE, the wrestling, where she's flying back from Tampa. So I want to recognize them. I'm honored to be chosen by my colleagues as director of the board for a second year in a row. I sincerely appreciate their confidence and their trust that they placed in me. Being a history teacher, Abraham Lincoln once said, "You cannot escape responsibility of tomorrow by evading it today." As freeholders, our responsibility is to the citizens of Morris County to provide them with a healthy and safe environment and to offer them services that enhance their quality of life. When it became clear to the board several years ago that the resources and funds would be severely limited or no longer available, we didn't try to escape our responsibility by evading the problem. With the help of our department directors and the government agencies, we reprioritized government spending. We approved the county budget last year that reduced the gross county tax levy for the third consecutive year, in large part because of our county workforce. All these freeholders up here would like to thank those county employees who agreed to work without a salary increase for the past year, including those of the 19 of the 21 bargaining units. They continue to provide you, the citizens, the services that you expect. I think we owe them a round of applause. There's a television television commercial at the bank, and it has the green path that rolls out from the front door. And the manager's out there talking to this satisfied customer and says, stay on the path. Don't deviate from the path that we just laid out for you. Well, this Freeholder Board has set out not just one, but several different paths and trails, all of them leading to effective and efficient county government, and we should not deviate from that path. For example, we intend to stay on the path, the rough terrain, the path that leads to 2012, towards adopting a prudent and practical county budget that does not impact those who need our assistance the most. We also, Phase 1 in the Morris County Improvement Authority National Acclaimed Solar Energy Project was completed in 2011. In 2012, we intend to maintain the path of heading towards the implementation of Phase 2, which will save $6.9 million in energy costs. This year, we'll continue on the trail towards expansion of our Public Safety Academy complex. Includes our Emergency Communications Center. Staying on the path enables us in communities to upgrade their emergency dispatch operations and save money by joining the county. This year, I'd like also to see the board remain on the path that will eventually lead towards establishing a nonprofit mall on Greystone property. Others, the path towards continuing the Meals on Wheels services for county senior citizens. The path continuing to explore more successful shared services with our towns and neighboring counties. But these are some of the paths that we laid out over the year or so. And if you listen to the commercial, and don't deviate from them, they'll lead us to our destination, that of continually effective government in the County of Morris. As always, we encourage your comments. Call us or email us with suggestions. Come to our meetings. We value your input. Thank you, and Happy New Year. At this time, would the Deputy Director like to address the crowd?
All right, good evening, everyone. I'll begin by wishing everyone a healthy and prosperous new year. I congratulate Chegg on his appointment as Freeholder Director for the second year, and congratulate Margaret on her re-election. I'm very grateful that you are back with us again this year, Margaret. In a night full of speeches, I again promise to be brief and to the point. As in the past, I will serve as the liaison to law enforcement, public safety, and the judiciary. 2011 was a very active year in law and public safety. 2011 completed the first year of the contract providing medical examiner services for Warren and Sussex counties. While the total reported cases exceeded 1,400, the approximate annual service to Morris County is over $150,000. The Communications Division began full service dispatching for more than 7 municipalities, bringing the total number of towns served to 23. Currently, one more town, Long Hill Township, is scheduled to come on our system in 2012. In 2011, contracts for the provision of health services were approved in the fourth quarter. The Health Management Division is now providing public health services for Denville and Boonton Townships. These agreements will be needed services to these communities, such as the administration of public health, nursing services, lead poisoning, and health education, while reducing the overall operating expenses to the county. The county is utilizing existing division staff to offer these services. The public safety complex expansion project moved along very rapidly this year, with site work being completed, footings poured, and construction underway. The new complex will house county data center, emergency management, communication, and the Sheriff's Crime Lab. The new communication center is designed to accommodate dispatching for all Morris County municipalities. Noteworthy emergency responses of 2011 saw significant events beset Morris County. Major flooding in March affected several communities, including Pequannock, Lincoln Park, Rockaway, East Hanover, and Denville. Emergency Management provided equipment and coordinated assets. When response were complete, assisted state OEM and FEMA with damage assessment. In early June, the Communication Center assisted Morristown and Township to manage a large-scale police, fire, and EMS response to multiple manhole fires and power outages in the affected communities. The response lasted several hours through the day and required the participation of 14 communication dispatchers. Of course, Hurricane Irene dominated the end of August and September. A multitude of county agencies, including emergency management, communications, and health management, put forth a sustained effort over several days assisting local governments respond and recover from this massive storm. Emergency management is still hosting FEMA in its continuing disaster relief efforts. In conjunction with the Red Cross, the county and the Park Commission converted Men and Sports Arena for a shelter for over 600 evacuees from Atlantic County during the storm. The Halloween weekend nor'easter provided another significant challenge that required extraordinary response from the emergency management and communications divisions. The storm crippled a good portion of the county, and the communications center received approximately 10,000 emergency calls in a 24-hour period. The plane crash on Route 287 in Morris Township in late December presented a unique challenge that was met by the staffs of communications, the medical examiner, and hazmat teams. The tragic event took the life of 5 individuals and required a significant county response that was handled in a sensitive and professional manner. In closing, 2012 promises to be another challenging year for Morris County, and this board will continue to do our very best to deliver the services you expect from county government, being ever mindful of reducing costs and burdens on the taxpayers. Thank you and have a great new year.
I have a motion to approve the resolutions.
So moved.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Deputy Director Cabana.
Yes.
Freeholder
To all.
Nordstrom.
Yes.
Freeholder Bonner.
Yes.
Freeholder Grassi.
Yes.
Freeholder Mastrangelo.
Yes.
Freeholder Murphy.
Yes.
Director Chedwin.
Yes. We'll have freeholder comments. Margaret, we'd like to start with you.
Okay, I guess my main comment is I'm very happy to be here tonight. A lot of people I need to thank for their support. Many of you are in the audience. I also need to thank my husband for just really standing by me during a very interesting period of time. I don't want to talk too much about the county. Director Chegwin has referenced pretty much everything I wanted to say, but I will mention one of the things that we did new this year, and we started an Economic Development Advisory Committee. Prior to that, we had an informal activity along with Paul Boudreau from the Chamber of Commerce, going out and talking to our industries, our corporations, to let them know that we were very, very interested in their well-being, and we wanted to have them to continue to be in Morris County to provide jobs for our residents and to strengthen our economy. This year we formalized it into a group to give it a little bit more heft. And I think we're starting to work on, in partnership with the state, because we have now finally a governor who is very, very interested in economic growth. One of the things that he's been proposing is to develop partnerships between business and the academic community. We've already done that in Morris County. We started that, I think, last summer. Ed Yaw, president of County College of Morris, put together a wonderful meeting with some of our businesses and our academic institutions so we could begin to work with them to develop training programs so they could train their employees in Morris County. Now, I know that economic development is on, and the economy is on everybody's mind, not just for New Jersey, not just for Morris County, but for our great nation as well. And a lot of people are fearful for the future, and with good reason. It is a really, really scary time. But I will tell you that for me, the glass is always half full, not half empty. And one of the reasons I feel that way is what happened to the issue that was paramount in my mind when I was first sworn into office 21 years ago, and that was open space preservation. And my dear friend Ken Short, Mayor of Washington Township, was also part of that effort. And at the time, that too seemed insurmountable. I mean, suburbanization was rapidly taking part in Morris County and indeed all of New Jersey, and it just seemed like there was really no way to handle a problem of that magnitude. And what I decided to do, what I said to myself was that I would concentrate on the part of the world that I was responsible for. I would do the best I possibly could in that part of the world, and that I would hope that my contemporaries in other towns and counties all over the state of New Jersey were doing the same thing. And that's exactly what happened. And I see that happening with economic development and turning the economy around. On the front lines, municipal officials all over Morris County are trying to find ways to improve the economy, improve the job market, improve the quality of life for their own residents. And together, I think what we will see is the same thing that happened with open space preservation, that the people in the trenches will do the heavy lifting and our country will survive. So I wish you all a wonderful 2012. Thank you all for coming tonight. Director, I turn it back to you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Well, good evening, and thank you everybody for being here tonight. I wish you a happy new year and a healthy new year. I congratulate Margaret on your victory. And you know, Margaret, I'm glad you're back because you know we share Tic Tacs up here. Okay? If she wasn't here, I'd be sharing them.
I'd be
with Doug.
sharing them.
So thank you. Well, either way. Next meeting, bring some Tic Tacs. You know, so anyway, I do congratulate the director, deputy director on your reappointments, and I thank the rest of the Freeholder board and look forward to working with you in 2012. I'd like to thank John Bonani. John, thank you. Mary Jo, thank you. They've worked very hard with both Ann and I as being newcomers this year, and they've done a great job. I'd like to, in getting us up to speed for sure, and the Freeholders as well. The department heads and all the employees, I thank them for their hard work during 2011. And you know, Morris County employees were faced with a number of challenges this year, and probably the year before, and probably this year coming. That they were faced with tighter budgets in which they had to work it, especially in a down economy. Atypical weather events that have already been described, which was the hurricane, the Halloween snowstorm, and you know, through it all, our employees stepped up. I saw these employees in action when I visited the Lowell Public Safety Center, when I went to dispatch, and when I went around, whether it was 3 in the morning or 3 in the afternoon, these people were there, whether it be a weekday or a weekend. And you know, I commend everybody here at Morris County for stepping up the way you did. I also have to commend our fellow elected officials out there from all the municipalities and all the employees that work for them, because you know, we had a true partnership here. And you know, what that showed me is that this is the true fabric of Morris County. Not just the county working by themselves, it's the county working with municipal government. And I think these events that took place this year, we would not have been able to get through them alone. So I thank all of you. You know, when we're elected to office, we're elected because trust is placed in us by those who elect us. Trust to make the right decisions, trust to keep our promises. My goal, along with my fellow freeholders, is to make the right decisions, to reduce spending in areas while delivering the necessary services our citizens have come to expect. For instance, if you look at one of the areas I'm responsible for as a liaison to the Information Technology Division, is in 2011 they continued to expand the use of virtual computing platforms, which has and being a technology guy, that's a great thing, because it really does reduce costs not only in labor but operating costs and infrastructure, and that occurred. The division had also expanded its replication, its disaster recovery systems by utilizing less costly state-of-the-art technologies. Information technology has also implemented the use of iPads on networks, you know, versus laptops, okay, which are less costly and will present a more efficient, reduced cost hardware platform as we move forward, you know, next year and into the future. In 2012, an assessment will be conducted to review the county's current information technology division, its 5-year technology plan for the county, and to identify opportunities of shared services in the area of technology for municipalities. In you know, we're going to look at our own infrastructure first and our own plans first, and then the second phase will be to look at you know, how we can have a shared service with municipalities, looking at technologies such as cloud computing and content management for transparency requirements. And we'll explore these once again as potential shared services for the simple reason to get government working even faster, create more transparency, and reduce spending and reduce costs both at the county and the municipal levels by implementing those type of technologies. The Morris County Library. I've spent time in it before I was a freeholder. I've spent more time in it as a freeholder, and I really got the, I guess, a 25-cent tour, $1 tour. Okay, and it was a great tour, and the resources are invaluable. The internet, the educational opportunities, the cultural presentations, the hosting of a premier collection of books and reference sources. And, you know, I think we're second to none than any other county library in the state. And the library continues to expand their collection into e-books where you can use your iPads and your readers and your tablets. So we're really taking that library into the technology forefront. I'm impressed by it. I think you would all be impressed by it. And based on the attendance of that library, it looks like our citizens and visitors to this county are impressed by it. The day following the October snowstorm, I found this to be you know, pretty great, okay, from an employee standpoint. The library opened its doors to 1,650 visitors, and the next day 1,227 visitors. Now those people weren't just coming to read books. They were coming to do some work because, you know, whether to read books, do work, whatever, because they were without power. They needed accommodations. So the library kind of doubled up as a community center to welcome these people. So, you know, to all the county employees down at the library and those who went there to help out, you know, great thing. And once again, this is what Morris County is about. In regards to our park system, it's one of the best park systems in the state of New Jersey. I believe you all know that, and you all believe in that. The park system covers over 18,000 acres with 155 miles of recreational trails. I've walked about 2 of them, so I got 153 to go. Okay, but you know, great. One of the national, there's one national landmark. We have six sites listed on the national and state historic site registers. So doing a great job over there at the Park Commission. They've actually received a $659,000 New Jersey Historic Trust Capital Preservation Grant for the restoration of the facilities at Foster Field's historical farm. And that restoration project is going to begin in 2012. They also received in 2011 a $1.1 million New Jersey Green Acres Planning and Incentive Grant. And by the way, the Freely Heights Abatorium was chosen as the best public art in New Jersey by New Jersey Monthly. And Congressman, I think you'll appreciate that because it's part of your family's legacy. So, during these economic challenging times, we must keep our promise to deliver more efficient, less costly, and smaller government without compromising the necessary services our citizens expect and require. I'm excited to work closely with my fellow freeholders in 2012 to accomplish that. Morris County is a great place to live, work, and raise a family. Once again, I thank you for your support. Happy New Year. And the most important thing, and what I left for last, is my wife is sitting in the audience. So I want to tell her thank you for everything, and putting up with me, actually. Because, you know, Mark will tell you I take all her Tic Tacs. And thank you for everything. How much?
Good evening, everybody. Some of the problems of going towards the back of the line is that a lot of the things have been said already, but so I'll try not to repeat too much. But you know, when you're first elected and you come into office, you plan on working on the mundane things like the budget and maybe some insurance issues and some planning and development. Those are the areas that I'm basically involved with. But in this case, my first year up here on the Freeholder Board, we faced hurricanes, floods, earthquakes, plane crashes, fires in the courthouse, and several homicides, which living in Morris County, you don't really think that happens, but it does. And during all of these events, what I saw was a county that runs the way it's supposed to run. And it stood up to the challenges that government is supposed to stand up to, and that was providing the necessary services, not only to the municipalities and the residents in Morris County, but also with the hurricane, we were able to step up to the challenge to hosting hundreds of people from the Atlantic City area to make sure that they were safe. And it was just an amazing thing to watch our staff and other municipalities work together. And many of our staff did not, their homes were being flooded and they didn't have electricity, and instead of being home with their families, they were here taking care of Morris County. And it was just a phenomenal experience to have. But it also diverted a lot of our time, attention, and money away from the everyday tasks that we have to do. And of course, the budget is always of paramount importance. I'm on the budget subcommittee, and we meet at a minimum of 2 times a month. And it's always our goal to provide the best services that we can for the people of Morris County at the best cost that we can provide them. And truly, I think this year has been a testament to the way the county has been run by my fellow freeholders who have been on the board for much longer than I have, and those that are no longer on the board, because they really set the foundation. And it showed how resilient we are. And in the economic downturn, when we had Moody's give us a AAA bond rating with a negative bent on it, we worked very hard, and through our perseverance, we were able to demonstrate to them that negative mark on our bond rating should be lifted. And that too is not just that's not something that I could do on my own, and certainly nothing that I could do in this past year. This is really the legacy of Morris County and the leadership that Morris County has had over many, many years, and I personally am grateful for it because it's made my job a lot easier. We've had some highlights along the way as well, not just dealing with disasters. Our Preservation Trust Program has celebrated saving over 20,000 acres of open space. And I think that's pretty phenomenal. Morris County has one of the best open space programs around. And Morris County also stands out as a jewel, and followed by many other counties, which I am very proud of as well. So, the open space is just one. We have some things that we're going to have to look forward to dealing with, which is our nursing home is going to be losing some funding, and we are going to have to be very creative in finding funding to supplement those losses. Because one thing that I've learned from going around to various municipalities and Republican clubs and committee meetings is that Morris County residents want us to keep the nursing home. That's part of a service that they expect from us. And so we are working, the next year is going to really be dedicated to working towards finding creative ways to fund that. And hopefully without having to hurt the taxpayers. But it is something that we have to do. The MUA, which I'm also the liaison to, has begun instituting single stream recycling in many of our towns, which is a great boost, and the towns love that. So we have many, many things to be grateful for here, and I'm hoping to continue in the tradition of our current Freeholder Board and our past Freeholder Board in providing you with all the services that you need and making sure that we're here when you need us to do that too. So I want to wish you all a happy, healthy New Year, and thank you for coming tonight.
Director, thank you. Congratulations on yours and Doug's and Margaret, all your successes and accomplishments and elections and so forth. This is my 15th speech at a Morris County Freeholder Reorganization meeting. And the first part of my tenure had to do with a lot of law enforcement, public safety type of stuff, which was easy to quantify and talk about. And the last part of my comments over the last 6 or 7 years have had to do with my liaison position as the in human services. And I'm in constant amazement with the commitment that these folks have, the people that work for our great county, but also the people that work in the nonprofit community to deliver services to those of our residents who are less fortunate. They do it very, very well in normal times. They do it very, very well in extraordinarily abnormal times, particularly over the last few years as we've struggled through these economic hardships. Not only have people struggled financially, but it's exacerbated some of the other situations that our human services folks deal with, like mental health issues and substance abuse and so forth. And there's a couple of items that are certainly worth mentioning. Highlights, if you will. The Morris Juvenile Detention Center had their annual inspection, and the quote we got back from one of the higher-ups in the state was, "The inspector has never," and I quote, "experienced a facility attain full compliance 3 years in a row during his long tenure with the unit." And we believe this is a huge accomplishment and shows how shared services with Sussex, Warren, and Hunterdon can provide an increased level of service at lower costs for all county. Again, Morris County thinking out of the box. Morris View Healthcare Center, I think it was Ann that alluded to it. We've, over the years, have had some financial difficulties there, but let's face it, folks, the nursing home is not there to make money, but it's important that we, as elected officials, do our best to deliver that service at a reasonable price. And we're in the process of setting up a subacute wing that will open up early this year, providing private rooms for patients who need various types of physical therapy. And we hope this new offering will actually offset some of the fiscal losses we're experiencing because of the Medicaid cuts. I can talk about 400,000 meals that are served to homebound residents. I can talk about our Office of Temporary Assistance having an increase because of the economic downturn of 25% food stamp recipients from the year before last to the end of last year. 566 new applicants for pharmaceutical assistance. And again, to those types of statistics to our staff are just run-of-the-mill. But, you know, the best comes out in people when I was about to use a phrase, but in case we're on tape, I won't. But when things go awfully bad, like they did, with the hurricane, or with the murder, and some of the things that we're not normally accustomed to, our people stepped up to the plate. We had crisis counselors at the Menon Arena, servicing not just our folks, but evacuees from other parts of the state. We had post-storm crisis counseling, 27 counselors available for our fellow residents of the county from places like Denville, Lincoln Park, Aquanic, and so forth, Parsippany, Lake Hiawatha area. And we had 13 counselors actually help out the folks that either witnessed or were experiencing emotional stress from the murder that occurred in Mountain Lakes. It's just amazing the types of things that we do day in and day out. Our folks don't get a lot of credit for it, and I'm just so proud to be part of the Morris County family. I'm really proud to be the liaison to human services, where we're helping out those who are less fortunate. Thank you very much. Have a great 2012, and I hope that both the economy and Mother Nature have a better year than they did last year. So my best to everyone.
Director Chegwin, and congratulations on being elected to serve the board as director for 2012. Congratulations, Deputy Director Cabana, and a very warm congratulations, Margaret Nordstrom, on being reelected. Speaking last, I feel it always has some peril and a bit of a high adventure because everyone's anticipating going to eat. All that food out there has been prepared by our technical school. I looked back and I saw the Reverend, he was praying, he said, Lord, please let him be brief, please. But I'll quote Liz Taylor, who did say to her seventh husband that, don't worry, I won't keep you long. Within my immediate scope of liaison responsibility lies Public Works, Engineering, Shade Tree, Mosquito Commission, and county transportation issues. I think 2011 will be remembered as perhaps the most devastating natural disaster year in our history. Obviously most memorable was Hurricane Irene, and then 2 months later, a pre-Halloween snowstorm did unprecedented destruction to home, trees, utilities, and county infrastructure. The cleanup that started 4 months ago continues today, and many families are still not in their homes. Hurricane Irene washed out 2 bridges, one on Emmons Road in Roxbury, another on Kinnelon Road in Kinnelon, and damaged other bridges in the county. Over 200 structures were inspected and repaired by our Public Works and Engineering Department. I'd be remiss if I did not recognize those people and all of the employees of Morris County who put together an incredible skill set of career disciplines to make these things happen. When I first became a freeholder, I said to John Benoni, I said, what are our core competencies? What do we do best? And he said, everything that we touch, we do best. And some things that we don't do best, we've subcontracted. And I think that's a reasonable way to look at it. But there are those things that everyone has such incredible confidence in that it's not duplicatable anywhere. Numerous other projects were started or were continued in 2011 in just the normal course of county operations. We converted an underused law library, which is now largely digital, into a new courtroom so that the state could accommodate a new judge. With reallocation of space in the Schuyler building, we were able to create 6 classrooms and administrative space for the County College of Morris. There'll be a dedication of that space on the 27th. Concurrently, the Washington building, which was functionally obsolete and structurally compromised, which was just on the corner of Washington and Schuyler, was demolished. It was replaced with a park and constructed for the period that we reserve it for future county activity or future county need. In the meantime, it's a beautiful park. People can enjoy luncheon and relax during their lunch hours. In coordination with the Division of Engineering, the Divisions of Planning and Transportation have undertaken an NJDOT-funded study of East Hanover Avenue. The goal is to take action to ensure that the county roadway and Route 202 Hanover Avenue intersection is able to support current and future development needs. On Monday, I anticipate being nominated as chairman of the North Jersey Transportation Planning Authority for 2012 and 2013. I've represented Morris County on this board since 2007, serving as vice chairman for the past 2 years. Little known is the NJTPA, but I will tell you that the NJTPA is a federally mandated metropolitan planning organization for 6.6 million people in 13 North Jersey counties. Each year it oversees more than $2 billion in transportation improvement projects and provides a forum for interagency cooperation and public input into funding decisions. It also sponsors and conducts numerous studies, assists county planning agencies, and monitors compliance with national air quality goals. In coordination with county and state agencies and with the NJTPA approval, we seized that opportunity to invest $6 million of federal stimulus funding in a project that will create future economic opportunities within the county. The building of a railroad, the Chester Branch Railroad, from Wharton to Roxbury, where it now serves commercial users and has the potential to serve customers in Randolph as well. This ties into Margaret's discussion of improving our economy, using our transportation infrastructure, leveraging our transportation investment to build our economy. Being chairman of this influential board allows me to continue to advocate for critical regional projects, many of which have local implications. Funding for transportation projects within Morris County, such as improvements to Sussex Turnpike in Randolph and the Route 10 Commerce Boulevard intersection in Roxbury, is also provided through NJTPA. I'll be working through the agency to gain funding for necessary upgrades to the Route 24, Columbia Turnpike, Park Avenue intersection in Morris and Hanover Townships. Whenever I say things like that, Dina, our Director of Planning and Development, cringes because she said, we know we don't have that money yet, and you're talking about it. Which is what happened on Commerce Boulevard. We didn't have the money, and I talked about it, that way we got the money, right, Dina? So, we leave a very busy year behind us in 2011, but we have an equally busy 2012 plan. I think one that will be another year of accomplishment for this board. And I thank you, and I wish you a very happy, healthy, and prosperous new year.
We have our benediction with Joe Creek.
It's an honor for me to be here. I'd like you to know that. I want to thank the director, William Chegwin. I want to thank my mayor, William Chegwin. And I'd like to thank my friend, William Chegwin.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. May the strength of God sustain us. May the power of God preserve us. May the hand of God protect us. And may the way of God direct us. And on this day, when we thank Thee for our individual freedoms, may the love of God and country go with you all. Amen.
Amen. Before we adjourn, I'd just like to make sure everybody knows there's plenty of food out there, so don't go anywhere. Come out and have something to eat with us. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks for coming.
Second.